Hey everybody, I'm Josh and welcome to another episode of Just Saying. On the show today, producer man's back. I know. Sad day. So let's go ahead and get the show started by asking the question I asked at the beginning of every one of my shows. What is Josh drinking? And on the show today, I am drinking none other than my good old Mountain Dew through a straw. PepsiCo, call me, email me, Cool Blue Gatorade, Grape Gatorade, or even Mountain Dew. Even coupons. I'll take coupons. You'll want to call me after my Christmas show. That's all I'm saying about that. Speaking of my Christmas show, I have an update for you. Now, I don't know if I'm an idiot and don't know how to count. I probably am, and I probably don't. I did go to a small town school. Anyway. But my donation box was less than my subscriber count, so I'm just going to add another $1. And if someone did subscribe, thank you. I just don't know if my math was accurate. So, the box should be even now. Speaking of... let me tell you what's going on, first of all. For every new subscriber I get this season and all season long, I'm donating $1 up to $60 to Toys for Tots. If I get 60 subscribers and have to donate $60, that would put me at 99 subscribers. My goal is 100. So if I get 61 or more subscribers and reach my goal of 100 subscribers, I will donate $100 to Toys for Tots. But I'm going to entice the bucket a little bit more. Here's what I'm going to do. And producer man told me, we kind of had a rock, paper, scissors for it, because I don't want to do it. But me not wanting to do it is kind of maybe pushing you guys to want me to do it, according to producer man. So, here's what I'm going to do. I don't want to say it because then it's official. I am 4 subscribers away to being halfway to my goal. And we are 7 days away. In 7 days from now will be October 31st. So, in the next 7 days, if I can get 4 more subscribers and be halfway to my goal, that would put me at 50. Before November 1st, I will participate in No Shave November. And I want to tell you how horrible this is for me. My family has a tradition that anytime we go on vacation, the guys cannot shave. I go as long as I can, then I shave, then I go as long as I can, then I shave. Then I can't, like, I feel a little stubble now, and it's already starting to bother me. I don't know why, I just don't like, especially when I lay down at night and I feel it, it's just really weird. Anyway, so, I don't want to do this. If you make me do it, I will, and I will post on TikTok or something to prove after the series, after the season ends, I will prove to you that I did it somehow, one way or another. I'll let you know. Anyway, so I need 4 subscribers in the next 7 days. I really want you to subscribe, but I don't want to have to do this. I can't even imagine. What if I had a goatee? Is a goatee okay? Like, if I just shave this part? You're going to make me want to do one of those... Not want to, but you're going to make me do one of those monkey-tailed goatees. No. If I do this, I'm doing a goatee. Because I can't stand... Like, I have to... I just... No. We'll talk about it if I get the 4 subscribers. How's that? Okay. You'll have to excuse me. There's a lot of pollen right now, and I am so stuffy today. I was filming the show yesterday without producer man, and I had to stop because I started getting a headache. I can already feel one coming on, so I'm trying to get it trying to get this done now. So if I sneeze or if I cough or whatever, I'm sorry. Or if I go, because that is so professional. No, the computer's not frozen. I'm sitting still as possible. Anyway, just a reminder. We are next week. Let me tell you about some upcoming shows here. Next week is our Spooktacular, where you finally get to find out what my costume is. The week after that is my 100th episode, and I'll talk more about that here in just a second. But then after that is the finale. It feels like just last week I was bitching that I had 7 shows left to do. It's so weird how time flies when you're having fun. I'm kidding. This is fun to me. Anyway, so yeah, we are 2 shows away from my 100th episode. I'm so excited. And it's becoming bigger than I thought. Not bigger as in like longer. It's sticking with 7 segments. But bigger as in I'm getting more and more excited about it. I started writing it, and there's a part in it that I'm really scared about, but I'm also really excited about it, and I'm also really nervous. Yeah, I'm more nervous than scared, but it's going to be something big that I've never done alone in public. That doesn't sound right, but it's not what you think. Trust me. This is YouTube, people. Not Pornhub, not Chatterbait. This is YouTube. It's not going to be that kind of a surprise. Anyway, that's all I have on my host chat list. I mean, there's more on there, but I crossed a bunch off. I can unofficially remind you that there's this week and next week left for clues. And then starting November 1st until November 10th, I'm accepting your email submissions for who you think the killer is. But I didn't say that, so, because I don't talk about it. I'll remind you guys all next week with the dates and stuff, so, yeah. We're kind of right on schedule with time. So, we're just going to keep it rolling. It's time for the sketch everyone has begun to love. And I have to give credit to Producer Man for it. It's time to answer the question, is that too far? And for those of you who have never seen the sketch, here's how it works. I have a list of about 20 jokes, and I'm going to read them each one by one. I have a dark sense of humor, so I never really know what crosses a line to be offensive. So in order to answer that for me, I have a man from the FCC sitting right over there, and after every time I ask him a question, I will say, is that too far? If you hear this noise, that means the joke's gone too far. The sketch has to end immediately. It could be after the first joke, third joke, 19th joke, but after the 20th, I don't care, because 1, it would make for a really long sketch, and 2, that's all the jokes I have. So without any more of my babbling, let's get going. UC Berkeley has announced recently that they will begin building an African American center at their college, and white women can't wait to sleep with it. Is that too far? No, he's laughing at that one. He's chuckling to himself. An usher at the Seattle Mariners game is in hot water after asking a lesbian couple to stop being affectionate. The couple was caught sliding into third base. Is that too far? No, we're good. Moving along. Radio host Rush Limbaugh recently warned Americans that we are trying to get lesbians to become farmers because after looking at their armpit hair, they know they're great at growing things. Is that too far? Thumbs up again. We're on a roll. Here we go. Donald Trump recently visited a prominently black church on a Saturday, which is different than how he normally visits them on horseback at night wearing a white sheet. Oh, no! That sound means the joke went too far. We have to stop and end the sketch immediately. But don't worry. There's more jokes coming right now in this week's edition of Another Cheesy Monologue. That's right. Because my show is awesome. In honor of our upcoming 100th show, I thought it would be fun to take a look back at some of my previous jokes, and that's what I did. So they'll all be outdated, obviously, as well as about any topic. Hold on tight. Here we go. Again. For Mother's Day, Hooters is giving away free chicken wings to all mothers who come in to take your mom to Hooters. What better way to tell her she's failed as a mother? According to a study, the most common present given to a mother on Mother's Day is a gift card for a massage. It's the perfect gift for your mom who doesn't want to be touched by dad. Researchers are claiming that humans can only maintain close relationships with 5 people, which should make for an interesting Mother's Day with my mom and her 6 children. She doesn't have 6 children. It's a joke. President Trump made a Mother's Day video where he called his mom a great person, really warm and really smart, which means only one thing: he's adopted. On Mother's Day, Eminem released a music video for a song which is a public apology to his mom. No word yet on whether or not Eminem's mom enjoyed the song. Sorry, I didn't call, bitch. The Chilean miners are being offered free vacations. Unfortunately, their bosses aren't letting them have the time off because, you just had 70. It's time for it should have been my joke of the week. Joke of the week. Chipotle has announced the plans to provide paid vacation, tuition reimbursement, and sick days for hourly workers, which is great, but now if you want guac, it's $400. You still have to pay for it, even more now. A survey finds that sex is better when you're on vacation, or at least that's what my friend's wife emailed him in the Bahamas. The White House is pointing out that all the presidents take vacation. Teddy Roosevelt took trips to Long Island. Harry Truman would go to Key West, and of course George Bush would go to Legoland. And finally, summer vacation is finally over, but not for the Obama family. They just got back from Martha's Vineyard and now are going to head to another vacation spot at Camp David. Joe Biden was excited for the car trip because he loves sticking his head out the window. Now, I have talked about it on the show before. I'm a superstitious person. But there are some really strange superstitions that happen during Halloween, and it's supposedly the most superstitious day of the year, except for any day that's Friday the 13th. Anyway, so I thought it would be fun, because I love random stupid knowledge, to take a look at some interesting and weird superstitions on Halloween. It's time for this week's edition of The 10. To be honest, I forgot to copy and paste the website I got these from, but I will try to find it before I post them. So without further ado, here we go. Number 10. Again, these are silly superstitions for Halloween. Here we go. Number 10. If you wear clothing inside out and walk backwards on Halloween, supposedly you'll see a witch at midnight. And it's your mother telling you to go back to bed. Number 9. On Halloween, you can cut open an apple horizontally and count the seeds. That tells you supposedly how many children you're going to have. Unless you're a guy. Well, I guess guys can have kids. They can adopt. Here we go, number 8. After bobbing for apples, if you place the apple under your pillow, not only will you wake up with neck cramps, but you'll also dream about your future husband or wife. I was always told, too, that if you have a test or an exam the next day and you sleep with your textbook under your pillow, you'll pass the test. I tried it once and hurt my neck so bad. It was the worst night of sleep I've ever had. Number 7, and I failed the test. Number 7, at midnight on Halloween, light an orange-colored candle and let it burn until sunrise, and you'll receive good luck. The good luck is that your house didn't burn down. I don't know if the burning down the house part is true. It just sounds like a big fire hazard to me. Here we go, number 6. Go to a spring of water on Halloween night carrying a lantern to find your future love. Look into the water using your light and you'll see the reflection of your husband or wife or the person who's about to push you in. That last part was the joke. People. Number 5. Standing at a crossroads on Halloween night will attract spirits traveling the earth to you. Halloween superstition says that the spirits will whisper about your future. Be warned though, crossroads are a dangerous place when a man can sell his soul to the devil. Thieves and Thieves and suicides would be intentionally buried at crossroads to make it difficult for their ghosts to know which road led them back home. That's awkward. Should have stopped at the other part. But, yeah. And that's if you don't get hit by a car. Here we go, number 4. Buying some animal bones. I'm sorry, let me try that again. Burying some animal bones or a picture of an animal near your doorway on Halloween will prevent ghosts from coming into your house. And please don't hurt your pet just to do this. Go buy a chicken in a grocery store, eat the chicken, and then bury the bone or something. Number 3. It's called holding on until my computer catches up. Oh, there we go. Okay. Number 3. Anyone fated to die within the next year will get a sign on Halloween night. The unfortunate soul will hear a high sigh in the wind that's believed to be the sound of wind blowing over the feet of the dead. So if you hear a wind blowing on Halloween, you're dying. Hopefully it's a calm night. Number 2. One of the British superstitions say nuts can be used as magic charms. This is because they believed that the devil would gather and use nuts. I don't know why. Maybe the devil was gay. I don't know. Number 1. And the weirdest Halloween superstition I found on KingHollywood.com. Apparently I did find it and write it down. Note to self, read my script before I film. And the weirdest Halloween superstition I found on KingHalloween.com is an old Scottish superstition had women hanging a wet bed sheet by a fire on Halloween in hopes of seeing visions of their future husband. And I will say that I read that wrong the first time when I went to write the script, because I thought it said they would have women hanging in wet bed sheets. And I was like, they're seeing their husband, their future spouse, because they're dying and lacking of oxygen. But I'm glad I read it correctly this time. Time to move on to the next thing. Sometimes you buy Halloween decorations and you never realize what you can do on your own to make a great Halloween decoration. So I thought, it's under what's wrong here, but I thought we would take a look at some awesome Halloween decorations or decorating schemes of the Halloween season. Here we go. It's time for this edition of What's Wrong Here. So this first one took me a minute. I really didn't get it because I thought, because of what it says, I thought sitting around the table were the teenagers. But then I looked closer at it. And the sign says those teenagers deserved it, change our minds. And then I realized it was every serial killer from horror movies. How clever is that idea? If there's a Scream killer, Freddy, Jason, Halloween guy, and I don't know who the middle one is. I can't really see it. But yeah, that's really a clever idea. Here's the next one, and this is a clever one. The sign, I don't know if you really can read it. I had to zoom in to get it. But it says, I grounded the kids this Halloween. Pretty funny. I thought these were funny. This one's creepy. And I'm looking away because it's a little bit creepy. But you know my golden rule. If I have to see it, you have to see it. Happy nightmares. And that first baby there was produced man's new child. Okay. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Here's the next one. I don't know if I would participate in this one or not. It's a, what do they call these things? Guillotine? With a sign through at the hole that says, free candy. Put your hand through here. Ha 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 ha. Here's the next one. This one is actually really clever. I'm assuming they did this one in 2021. But it says, the sign next to it says, it was the scariest thing I could think of. And it has a big 2020. Either that or they just got done watching a stupid episode of 2020. Here's the next one. Now, this one is clever, and I don't know how they did this one. But this one is really clever. It's skeletons pushing a tree over. Is the tree already falling over and they just added to it? Did they knock over a tree for that? Is that a fake tree? Like, I have so many questions. Here's the next one, and this is a warning for all of you kids out there. You better pause this video, come back and watch it after you do your chores, because this is what happens if you don't do your chores. The sign says, 0 chores completed. And they're dead children. I'm kidding, I don't know if they're children. But they didn't do their chores, now they're skeletons. It means they didn't eat. Here's the next one. I would kill my child, or whoever did this to my lawn. But they killed all the grass around a pumpkin. Like, that is just going too far. Here's the next one, and, you know, I pride this show on teaching you things every now and then. And this is what's going to happen to you guys. Consider this a PSA on what's going to happen if you drive slow in the left lane, text while driving, or didn't use a turn signal, you turn into skeletons. How funny is that? I remember seeing a sign at a local, like, outdoor arena area in the area. And they always put up funny signs every now and then. And one of them was, you will hit every construction cone because you saw the warning just like I did. Way back when I saw it as well. And it's true. I am one of those that, if you're next to me and it's starting, after we've been warned that the lane you're in is ending, and you're trying to just get around, I will speed up and make you hit every cone. I'll be proud to pay that ticket I get for failure to yield and not cause an accident. I'll be happy to pay that just to teach you a lesson. Anyway, without further ado, here's the final one. Now, this one took me a minute, and I wondered to myself how many times people called 911 after seeing this. But then I realized what it was. It is a scene from It. with a kid in a yellow jacket at a sewer grate, and if you notice, their little red balloon. I wonder how many people drove by, saw that, and called 911. Or at least stopped and asked the kid if he was okay. And they're like, oh my god, he's not responsive! Anyway. Now, I have to say, some of the scariest things on this earth are people who need warning signs. I thought it would be a great time of the year, talking about scary things, to take a look at some warning signs that really shouldn't be warning signs unless since we have the wrong kind of people, we have warning signs. So it's time for my favorite sketch, or my favorite segment, Warning! There's a warning.
Oh, Belly, I need you now. I need you now. I need you.
Here's the first one. Apparently on a toddler stroller, it warns you to remove child before folding. Honey, did you take the kid out of the cart? Out of the baby cart before I started folding? Guess not. Really? If you have to be reminded to take your child out of a stroller before you fold the stroller, chances are you shouldn't have children. That's why I think you have to take a test in order to have kids. Here's the next one. And most of these warning labels, the funniest part are the illustrations. Like this one. Avoid death. And the bucket is above the head, and then it crushes him in the head. I don't know. Apparently, don't put the bucket above your head when you're trying to get out, because that's a smart thing to do anyway. I don't know. I've never sat in a chair, a couch, that you had to lock. And look at the illustration in the top left corner. Why are you locking and unlocking a seat? Have I been sitting on chairs wrong for 40 years? It's really weird I'm saying that. 40 years. Old. On a container of natural dry roasted peanuts, there's peanuts. Really? I'm assuming those that have nut allergies are not going to buy a container of peanuts. Just a guess. Here is the next one. On a can, and I looked in the store, and it's really on there. On a can of Easy Cheese spray cheese. For better results, remove cap. Really? The cheese isn't going to teleport itself outside of the cap and perfectly on. Really? Here's the next one. And for those of you who need to be told this, maybe you should not heed this warning and do it, and we'll all be better off. Do not breathe underwater. Have you ever really tried to breathe underwater? Well, without a snorkel. I mean, seriously. Have the IQ of this country, of this planet, dropped? Ever since technology, I'm going to have to say yes. Now, I don't get why this has this on there. I know there's construction people who work construction on roads. They use wheelbarrows. But apparently this is not a good wheelbarrow, because it says not intended for highway use. Either that, or it just means you can't sit in it and have somebody push you down the highway. I don't know. Here's the next one, and this one is hilarious. It took me a minute to get it until I read the entire thing, and it's the second one from the bottom. Not a body wash, and it's on scrubbing bubbles. Really? Really? Because the picture of the bathtub, the toilet, and the tile on the front of the container really didn't say anything to you. Here's the next one. Now, I don't know who would feed an alligator, period. I am terrified of them. I think they're psycho. But if you want to feed them food, go for it. Just make sure you don't feed them hallucinogens. I'm sorry, if I had shrooms like in the picture, there's no way I'm sharing. I mean, there's no way I'm having those. I've never done shrooms. I am the type of person that if I smoke weed, I'll be honest. Obviously, I've talked about it on the show before. But I am the type of person that I have a fear of freaking out from freaking out while on a drug I've never done. And it would totally kill the entire thing. Like, it would be a total buzzkill. Like, I'd be too worried that I'm going to freak out when I'm freaking out. And if that makes sense. On a container of Q-tips. Now, how do you use a Q-tip? Take it out of the box, put it in your ear, you flip it or spin it around, throw it away, right? Well, apparently, Q-tips are not to be inserted into your ear canal. Doesn't that defeat the purpose of a Q-tip? Seriously? Seriously. And for the sake of my sanity, that's the end of the show today. Keep those crazy warm people away from me. Shoot them off my island. Be sure to join me next week for the Spooktacular, where I will reveal my costume. And I will tell you right now, it involves this coffee cup right here. This is part of my costume. That's all I'm going to say. If you think there's something funny I should see and share on the show, be sure to send it to me. This is the show email address. Let me know how Producer Man and I are doing by emailing us. Follow me on Twitter with your hashtag SmilePowerChallenge stories, as well as on TikTok for exclusive behind-the-scenes looks, Taser Versus videos, and exclusive TikTok content. And while you have a second, please like, subscribe, and get the notifications anytime I post one of my episodes, as well as comment. Please, 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 especially click that one right there. That one. Subscribe. Let's help the less fortunate have a great Christmas, as well as make me participate in No Shave November. Anyway, without further ado, let's get that off the screen. But yeah, be sure, we have 3 episodes for the end. And then I get to take a breather. It's been a crazy season. A crazy season. From being the first 15 season episode season, to my mom dying, to being so far behind I can't even see straight. It's just been a roller coaster of a season. But yeah, we're going to make it. We're going to make it happen. And it's going to be better than ever. And there's only 3 episodes left, people, of this season. Anyway, without further ado, please be sure to join me next week. Be safe, be healthy, stop the hate. Mama, I love you. And until next week, everybody, that is all I'm saying.